To the topic of the discussion and hit the issues you typically find reluctant. Remove the facade to fill the gap with some substance. We undermining problems, expecting to overcome it. Please hold the applause. We doing it for the cause. People follow culture before they follow the laws. We rather face the friction and not attempt it at all. Persistence will find solutions once our contentment dissolves. There's a hard pill to swallow for anyone breathing, both for folks who stay woke and those who be dreaming. We ain't slaves, yet we still ain't experienced freedom. What we need is the keys to access the kingdom. We're all in this fallen world trying to stay intact. I'm just a beggar, point you out to where the bread is at. So follow the breadcrumbs like Hansel and Gretel. Thank Yogi Bear and the thought engineer for that on Monday. It's Man Talk Monday. Woo!
What's up, good people?
They have no idea.
Man, we try to work this thing out, man. We are trying to work this thing out. We gonna mess around. We gonna come across. We go figure something out. We gonna mess y'all up, boy. We gonna mess you up.
But you got to be patient with us while we trying to figure that out, though. Oh man, what's Monday?
It's another Monday, man. Monday after Thanksgiving. Everybody should be full of your turkey and the whole nine. I don't know. We had a good time. We had some good food. Well.
So what was the dish? What was the signature dish that everybody was talking about?
My dressing.
Oh, you did the dressing?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I does my thing with my dressing, man. My dressing is pretty on point. Shout out to Ernestine Peaches Smith, my mom, who taught me how to throw down in the kitchen.
That's good, man. So let me see. It was Cheryl's pecan pound cake. That was
really?
That was a big hit. Yeah, man.
Pecan pound cake.
Yeah, real big hit, bro.
Well, that sounds like you got to hit a treadmill after you finish that, boy.
Or you don't get on it for a couple of days to make sure your weigh in is proper.
Oh
yeah,
man.
Yeah, it was good, real good, man. Thanksgiving was great though.
Oh, that sounds good, man. That sounds good. Well, we back once again, ladies and gentlemen. This is Man Talk Mondays. Of course, it's an open forum where we discussing the real deal about relationships, but we're doing it from a man's perspective. So keep in mind, this is not just for men. We want everybody to participate. We want to hear from you, men, women, boys, and girls. Everybody's welcome. And how you do this, you go into the comment section, leave your comment, leave your question. This is how you talk to us. But by all means, we want to hear from you. We just sitting around having a conversation. We want to be part of the conversation. All right. So we won't prolong the time. We are going to get into it. We got some people that hopped in with us. We got Miss Sophia. Thank you for hanging out with us again, Miss Sophia. She said, "Do people hang around in the kitchen?" No. It did get kind of crowded for a minute, though. Kitchen got kind of crowded for a minute, but we was able to clear it out. Anytime, as soon as them plates here to get quiet, everybody get their plate to get quiet, and everybody kind of settle down. So once you get the food, it settle down.
We did have some line stragglers, though. I had a couple people in line. I had to usher out, like, hey, y'all at the what part were they at? They had passed the meat, and they were at the rolls and stuff. And they were really at a long time at the rolls. And I'm like, hey, it's either rolls or cornbread to go with your greens.
Decisions.
And they could not. I almost had to call security to come get them out of here.
Decisions.
Man, what you talking, man? What you talking?
We appreciate everybody joining in with us tonight. We're going to get off into this. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Man talk about it.
Okay, so today on Man Talk About It, there has been a lot over the past couple of weeks about this particular young lady that took a vacation with some friends of hers and didn't come back. Kind of a couple of things on my mind about it. First of all, how do you don't really go somewhere with people that you don't really know? Because man, things are so funny. You know, it's funny because me and my friends, it's about five. It's five couples, and we take vacations together. And the only reason why we do that because we know we can tolerate each other. We know who does what. We know what we're gonna have to put up with, so we kind of get ourselves ready for it. But when you doing it with people you don't really know, that ain't no vacation. That's hell. That is hell because you got to put up with people's attitudes. You got to put up with people's moods, and more importantly, you don't know those people, and you might not come back home. Perhaps we way too trusting in this society because we want to get a break. We want to get a pricing break. Perhaps we way too trusting because we want to say I'm that boss chick and I'm living and I'm going and doing things. But perhaps we need to use some more wisdom when we do those things. Now, God bless that family that lost their daughter. But I think we need to be in these type of cases. We definitely need to be more smarter about who we vacationing with. Because remember, vacationing is the time when you're supposed to be able to let your hair down around people that you know and that you trust and trust you, and where you can have a good time with. And if you got to be fearful of people in any kind of way, perhaps you don't need to be vacationing with them. Because I know me, I'm moody and I don't be feeling like fooling with people. So I can only imagine. So I just Derek, what you think, Dave? You think we need to take it a little more serious? What you think?
Man, because that was some severely tragic, man. Especially the way they did that, girl. And it's like, these supposed to be your people. These supposed to be your friends. Everybody want to get in on the trip. And you going expecting to have a good time, think you hanging out with some friends, and you don't come back.
Well, that's the thing about older people, though. Older people don't vacation with everybody.
Nah.
Older people who going? You know what? You can invite somebody to your house, and the first thing they're gonna say is, "Who gonna be there?"
That's the money question right there. Hey, who all gonna be there?
Because you gonna run you want to run down to the list to let you know if it's somebody there that you don't know if you're secure with and you're not going. I think we need to use the same thing. I think it's great that people taking vacations going to do things. I just think we need to use more wisdom in it to make sure we go back like we came. We come back like we left.
Yeah. I mean, it goes to show you, man, how well do you actually know people? And I don't know if people take the time to really get to know people, especially when you go. Now, you really want to find out who people are going on the trip with them.
Ooh, boy, what you talking? What you talking? It's
got to be some preliminary screening or something.
Get some time in.
Yeah, because, man, who wants to get off into a place to where, because you off home base. You not somewhere where it's real comfortable for you to be anymore. You off in a whole new space, whole new country and the whole nine. And now somebody starts the trip with you.
You can't grab your basketball and take it home.
Right. You can't just leave. You can't just leave.
No. Right.
So more consideration has to be taken. And we're not blaming the young lady. I mean, she just went to have a good time, but we're just saying how people don't really take the time to get to know people or check them out or properly vet them before we get into something serious with them. I'm pretty sure y'all heard about that. I mean, how tragic was that this young lady lost her life at the hands of what she considered friends. Because
I'm curious about how many of our audience that's listening take vacation with friends, and if friends, how long do you have to know them? If friends, how many friends? If friends, can you only take another couple? Could it be a gang of y'all? How many friends? I'm just curious. If you guys let us know what y'all thinking about it.
How many of y'all went on vacation with friends and came back without actual friends? Y'all friendship was actually over. I remember
that's good.
I remember being on vacation. I see an all girls trip and ain't nothing. They just fighting. They just fussing. I was like, wow.
Because women don't get along anyway. Come on, can we just be honest? Y'all know y'all don't get along. We can hardly stand y'all. If y'all ain't had that little thing on y'all, we won't be dealing with y'all at all. I'm just gonna tell you that right now. And I know women don't get along like that. I know they don't.
Now, Fia say that was totally a setup. I mean, it's like, I just wonder what kind of warning did she have? Maybe, but like, were there warning signs? Was she just too trusting? Or what was it for her to end up in a situation like that without, to get off in a whole nother country?
Well, normally stuff happens at home before it happens on vacation. People, if you're around people, people will show you who they are. You just got to be paying attention when they show you. You just have to be pay attention to when people show you who they are. You got to be willing to see it. And you can't be thinking about, oh, no, I'm going to ignore that because I really want to go on this trip.
I'm going to ignore that because I really want to go on this trip. People ignore some very big warning signs when they get into marriage. They ignore some big warning signs when they get into marriage. LaShawn said, unfortunately, you can know people you're going away with and still doesn't work out. I swear I almost left my sisters on the side of I-20 last weekend. They got on my nerves, not the sisters. Monique says, I will vacation with friends. I don't do many groups. The number should stay small. She says, as long as it's a small group, she can deal with that. She says, you have to watch folks, especially those jealous of you. I'm sure that group she traveled with had a few signs that were ignored.
Yes, that's what I was thinking too. I was thinking the same thing.
Sophia says, I went with 7 women and never again. God bless you.
God bless you. The people at the airport should have told you, baby, it's how many of y'all? Don't y'all do that. Don't y'all do that. Because you know it's not going to work out. It's not going to work out.
TSA need a travel ban. You got more than 5 women. Y'all can't travel together.
Not unless you got 5 dudes. Not unless you got equally as many dudes. Oh, come on, man. You can't
need some balance.
Now, guys, a bunch of guys can go on the trip. And we are cooling. We good.
Hey, because that dude that irritate people, he ain't going.
He ain't going.
He ain't even getting. No, he ain't even getting invited.
He won't even know we gone until we gone.
Right. Do you see the pictures?
Yes.
He won't even know. Sean said, Fia, oh, sweet Jesus. Ain't no way.
I've been trying to figure out, how do you think that 7 women's gonna get along? I don't care what y'all call yourself. I don't care what y'all call yourself. 7 of y'all 7 is like 8. So which means it was 8 of you did them. That's a lot of women, bro.
That's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot to deal with. A lot to deal with. Well, we're talking about tonight. When you think about not knowing people before you go on a trip or go somewhere with somebody, marriage is a journey. And you talking about going on a journey with somebody, and how well do you know those people, that person that you about to jump into this thing with? And then when the situations come up, how prepared are you to handle it and to deal with it in a way, you know what I'm saying, that ain't nobody gonna just, lose their mind?
I think that's I've never heard it put that way about being a journey that you riding with somebody with.
Oh, brother.
So y'all got to get in the car together. And y'all have to ride together, and the ride has to be pleasable for everybody in the car.
Amen. Because the first fight is over the steering wheel. We get into that in a second. What? Listen, we talking about tonight.
What?
Are you man or woman enough for marriage? Are you man a woman enough for marriage. And yes, we're suggesting that there has to be some maturity.
Absolutely.
There has to be some maturity. People, you say, are you man enough? Meaning, can you handle it? Like, it's something that's a big task, something that's pretty daunting. Can you handle it? And marriage is one of those things. Can you handle it? Are you man or woman enough to handle it?
No, they're not. No, they're not. No.
Why do you think they're not?
Because if you haven't been through anything, there's nothing that can prepare you to get ready for marriage. Unless you've seen it and can talk to people about it, you're not just going to go into marriage willy-nilly and think it's going to work. No, we don't have the stick-to-itiveness. We don't have the fortitude to put up with another person's stuff and your stuff to stay married. We're not taught that anymore.
Yeah. I don't think people really understand commitment anymore.
Now people want what they want.
So how can you be in a marriage and it's more about what you want? Shouldn't it be about what the other person wants?
No, that's not why we get married.
Why we get married then?
We get married because we're trying to be happy. We think that me or she is gonna make me happy. I am so in love right now. Oh my God. I am so in love with him right now because he makes me happy. He does everything to make me happy, or vice versa.
Sean says, I'm woman enough, but I don't ever want to get married again.
We know, LaShawn.
I'd rather be pregnant.
We know, LaShawn. We know, LaShawn. You don't want nobody. We know, girl. We know you run from men. We know when you see him, you just start running. Matter of fact, when I see you was running the other day.
Well, because she says she's woman enough, but then she says she would get married again, which says LaShawn has been married before.
Oh, wow.
Were you woman enough then? Or are you saying now you've gone through it, that you can say you woman enough, but you just don't want to do it?
I'm going to speak for LaShawn. See, back then, I didn't really know. I had no idea on because you watch TV, you see things, and you think you know.
Today, playing the part of LaShawn is
Why you
John Yoder.
Why you tripping? I didn't really know what I had known now. Cause see, if somebody had told me, I would have never got married. I didn't know. All I know is I don't never want that no more. Cause you know why people would say that, D? Because it's way too much about that other person. Oh. And if you go into a marriage with a preconceived notion of what you're not gonna put up with, then you're not gonna stay married anyway. Oh, you heard me.
Yeah, you're right. You know, the tragic thing I'm seeing, especially like right now, I'm pretty sure many of you have been seeing Tia Mowry. She is, you know, you said they're keeping the microphone in her face. Now that she done got divorced, so she headed for divorce. And I'm listening to what she's saying. Did she say something about she feels like she graduated?
She said it.
She feel like I graduated from marriage. Like I did it so well. I graduated.
And she expected a degree from it. She wanted a degree from it because well, I know she was in trouble. Every time they asked her, she say something different. But you know what? Because what she needs to say is, listen, I need time. Can I get some time? Can I get a little time? Guys, I'm still trying to deal with this. This is new to me. I'm trying to process it. I'm trying to learn from it. Give me time to at least take a moment to think about it. Because now she's just out there talking outside her neck.
Oh, man.
It's bad. It's bad.
It is real bad.
It's bad.
And you could tell she's not convinced of what she's saying.
Because she's trying to be a victim and a hero at the same time.
Oh, you just said something.
Well, you know, that's normally what I do.
Yeah, man.
Dude, you can't wear
trying to be a victim and a hero at the same time.
You can't wear a cape and be rescued at the same time. You either got to fly or you got to be rescued. One of the two. You can't do both. And she's trying, and they got her feeling like she needs to do both. thus talking off both sides of your mouth.
Yeah, she got to pick one. Monique says, I would get married again. I would be sure to vet the person extensively. I would try to see the red flags and also be honest with myself about healing and what I want in the marriage. Prayerfully, we will be on the same page. Prayerfully, they will be on the same page. Okay. Let me just say this. It's not about being all the way on the same page. It's about, do you have the ability to agree with each other to the point where you can get on the same page? Because you still learning this person, you still figuring things out. And I tell people, marriage, you're trying to blend value systems. They have their value system, you have yours, and you're trying to blend value systems. And that is tough. People say people get divorced because of money.
No, they don't.
People do not get divorced because of money.
They don't.
People do not get divorced because of finances. People get divorced because finances reveal your value system. Because a lot of times people lie about what they really value until they get money in their hands.
You can tell then.
And you will find out exactly where their values are. And this is where people's values get exposed. Money has the power to expose you. It has that power to expose you. And then once you get exposed, it's like,
the crazy thing about what you're saying is most of the time when we get married, when we start out, we generally are struggling.
Yeah.
And you generally can get along with each other while you're struggling, because the common denominator is whenever we get this money right, and we can come together with that. And then when we get the money right, now all the other stuff comes in with that, man. Mm-hmm. It's amazing how many people start having problems once they get money.
Oh man, I say this all the time. Most people act right because they can't afford not to.
There you go.
As soon as they can afford to, you start to see they start acting up. Most people are morally good because they can't afford not to be. LaShawn says, I've gone through it and we'll never do it again. It was cool and all, but I like sleeping alone and I hate being touched.
Hold on, LaShawn, let me tell you something. Stop. LaShawn, listen. If you're going to be a regular guest on this show, you're going to have to start being more honest with yourself, because the lies, we ain't taking them down. Don't be telling me you don't want to be touched. You don't listen. Don't nobody want to lay in no big old king size bed, no California king size bed by themselves with nobody touching them. Quit that and stop it. Stop it now, LaShawn. You stop it. Matter of fact, hit your own hand, LaShawn, because you got to stop that foolishness. Go on, dear. I'm sorry.
No, because I'm just. So I guess I'm curious, because did you have to get into marriage to figure out that you're not marriage type? Everybody is not built for marriage. Let's just be honest. Everybody is not built for marriage.
You know why?
Why is that?
Because they want their way more than they do marriage. Everybody is built for marriage if you're willing to submit to the marriage and not your way.
Oh. LaShawn say, I wish I was lying. I'm so serious. Don't touch me.
Girl,
Joker.
bye. Girl, bye. Girl, bye. That's why you call him a joker. Girl, bye.
I got a question for LaShawn. Let me get Monique come here real quick. Monique says, that's it. I love when y'all say when you began to prosper, the BS start because the real person is revealed. How do you see the person for who they are before this? Most people are not going to tell you their flaws. You got to look at their track record. And I tell people, find out where they come from, like their family, people in their family in the whole nine. As much as they want to be different, they're not as different as they try to seem. They're not that different. They may move a little different. They may have a few different values, but at their core, especially if they came up in the same family as the other sisters, brothers, whatever, they have the same issues. So you look at the family and then you try to have an open and honest conversation. if they cover during the conversation, you got to be careful because that's a source of embarrassment that they may be trying to cover. And if they won't be honest about, you know what I'm saying, that conversation, that could be something where you need to.
Well, yeah, that's true. But you also need to reevaluate where they come from. Was a single family home? Was mom and dad together? And if mom and dad were together, was the house woman dominated? It was a house man dominated. Because a lot of times, man, we ignore that stuff, and that stuff is important. You know, if you come home with me, most of the time you'll see why I'm the way I am. But a lot of times, but we got to pay attention to it, and we don't pay attention to it. We do not pay attention to it. We say, oh, we should be looking at the house and the cars, and I better get in here, and we're not looking at what we need to be looking at.
Now, we were just talking about the young lady. She went on that trip, and there were obviously some things that she ignored. It's amazing how much people will ignore before they get married. They see stuff, but they want the wedding. They want the attention. They want all the stuff that they play up on movies and all this type. They want that about marriage, but they don't. When the actual marriage hit and the rubber meet the road, it's a whole different ball game. And yeah, it's a shock to your system. Afia says, "How many years do you think it takes to get into the flow as one after getting married? How many years does it take to get into that flow where you moving as one?"
I think it's a process. I wish I could put a year or a time on it. It just depends on how things happen for you financially. If things pick up financially for you, then you will have to there will have to be some adjustments made. But it's just a matter of, as the family starts to become what it's going to be moving forward financially, everything else kind of come in. Because you know what's funny? As much as me and my wife talk about, we talked about money. Money was never the big issue. It was stuff like, okay, we got a daughter. Are we celebrating Halloween or not? And then you're like, well, both of us thought we came from a place to where we didn't celebrate Halloween until my daughter was going to a daycare and they were having a Halloween party. So now you got to look at your 3-year-old daughter and say, no, we don't celebrate that. You can't be a part of that party. Now you I tell her that because I ain't telling her.
Because they got candy.
They got a candy. They got a party, and there was some sacrifices made on both ends. And I think more so that is how you become who you're going to be moving forward, rather than the money thing.
The thing about it, to answer Phil's question, it's not so much what needs to be agreed upon, it's how agreeable are you before you know the terms. See, a lot of times we want to know the terms before we agree, but that's not marriage. Marriage is making a commitment before all the terms really show up. We say for richer, for poor, for better, for worse, in sickness and in health, but we don't really take into account what comes along with that. For the richer, for poor, are you gonna move the same way? Now we ain't got no money, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All we got is love. And when we get a little money, we move a little different. Are you still gonna ride for me like you was, back then?
Your marriage is as good as the people that are willing to do anything to keep it together. I can honestly say, me and my wife we're 32 years, and I don't know what she was hell bent on. No, we're not gonna get divorced. She was because she had to be, because I wasn't. I had to catch up to where she is now. Now today, I wouldn't do nothing in the world without her. Wow. But I think somebody in the marriage has to be the one to say, you know what, through hell or high water, this thing is gonna work. Because too many times nobody is willing to sacrifice and say, I'll be that person that keeps this thing together.
Wow. Yeah. You just said a whole lot right there. LaShawn says, I've tried marriage, shacking up and spending nights, like 2 nights at a time, and it wasn't worth it. I make it known before anyone asks to be in a relationship with me. Sometimes I'm moody. I don't want to be bothered. So I deduce that it'll be best I don't make that commitment again.
I just don't, LaShawn. I see. I need a couch in here with you laying down on it, so we can talk, so we can get you to the next level. Because it's obvious that you do want a relationship, but you want a relationship on your terms. And I think that's the difficult part. I think most people are like LaShawn. Yeah. I think they want a relationship on their terms, and in marriage, they're only marriage terms. It's not just John or Cheryl's terms. It's only marriage terms. It's things that you got to do because we're married to stay married in this thing.
So you don't own the terms. Marriage does.
Exactly. You do things because you're married. Because you're married. No, you can't control. Everybody wants to control the marriage. Everybody wants to be the one to say, no, we got to do this. No, can't do it. Can't do it. Won't do it.
Miss Erica, she says, absolutely. There has to be the commitment to stay together. You know what? It's amazing how creative people can get when they don't have a choice. As long as you know you have an out, you don't put as much effort or as much energy into making something work. It's like if you were trapped in some kind of, I don't know, some contraption, you would do everything you could to get out. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But if you knew somebody was coming to get you after a certain time, you stop. And you just sit there and wait if you can. If you sit there, if we have an out,
we're gonna take it.
We're gonna take it. And most people give themselves an out going into marriage. If this don't work, I can just get divorced.
So my wife is gonna kill me for this, but I asked her. I saw something in her over the holidays, and one of the things my wife has always done, she's always when it comes to me when eating, if she can serve me, she wants to serve me at every chance when food at the table. Sit down, honey. You go over there. I'm gonna pick your plate. I'm bringing it to you. And so I was sitting there watching TV, and I thought, where did you get that from? Why did you start doing that? And she says, well, I remember specific aunts that would do it for their husbands.
Oh wow, okay.
And I saw their marriage flourishing. I remember cousins and stuff that were married. I saw their marriage flourishing. And she said, I saw that it worked, and I wanted to implement that in mine. That I would serve you as much as I could, because marriage is about serving. Marriage is about serving that other person, whether you want to, when you feel like, when you don't feel like. It's about serving the other person. And I was curious because she didn't come up in a household. She came up in a single family household like we did. So you had to be looking for that. You had to be looking for clues of successful marriages to implement them in your life.
No, that's real. That's real. Erica says, so true. LaShawn says, I'm willing to be submissive, John.
Lord, you not.
To someone worthy of being submissive to.
Wait a minute.
Anytime.
What does that mean?
Anytime I hear that, it is a clear sign that you are not ready to be submissive to nobody. Because you can always put a condition where that person is not worthy of your submission. You can always find something.
Let me tell you who worthy of that submission. The fool man that's willing to deal with your behind is the dude that's willing to get your submission. Because you are a cuckoo and you don't know what you want. You changing your mind. You all over the place. As soon as that man run by, you better grab him and wrestle him down and submit as soon as you can. And LaShawn, I'm saying all this in love.
So I'm curious. What is the entry fee for marriage? What does it take to get in? What you got to pay to get in? What do you need to pay to get in?
Well, see, the problem with that, if I put a price on it, you're going to be willing to pay double to get out of it.
So you think people will pay more to get out than they do to get in?
They haven't seen or heard of the horror. Too many times we've seen unsuccessful marriages and we've said, I don't want that. This is what I don't want. If I gotta do this and I gotta go through all that, then I just ain't gonna do it. When they don't see the other side of it. Nobody sees the other side of it. Nobody see when you work hard at something, how great it can be when you work at it.
Right.
Do I want to choke my wife sometime? Absolutely, I do. And I'm sure she wants to choke me just as much. I'm sure she does. But there's nothing in the world I would do. There's no place in the world I would rather be than right here with her.
How about LaShawn say, how y'all gonna tell me what's wrong with me?
What? What?
She said, how y'all gonna tell me what's wrong with me?
Because she be on the show every week.
We appreciate you. Well, let me just say, we appreciate you rocking with us. But
you crazy. but I just want LaShawn to admit this, that you want somebody. If I could just get you to admit you want somebody, then we making progress, LaShawn. Because I know you do, man. I keep telling y'all, there's nothing like growing old by yourself.
Boy. I'm gonna say, I want you.
And nothing like growing. Listen,
the right way.
There's nothing like there's nothing like I see it.
Yeah. It means something that somebody is willing to ride out life with you.
To put up with your foolishness and you put up with theirs. Right. Because that's when you get older, the more older you get, the more stubborn you get, the more somebody wouldn't put up with that.
Yeah. And probably the most honest and revealing thing is when you understand how much of a headache you can be. When you understand exactly what somebody done put up with to be with you. Brother, you talking about the light coming on, you talk about an epiphany. Because
we don't believe that we headaches. For the most part, we don't believe we headaches. We believe that we're the easiest people in the world to get along with.
Most of the time, people don't even like themselves. They do everything to distract themselves from themselves. I gotta hang out with people. I gotta shop. I gotta run around. You don't like you. So what makes you think somebody else is gonna like you to the degree they gotta put up with you to that level? Man, that's crazy. That's I've never quite heard it put that way, but I think you're really onto something. I really do, because it takes a special listen. If we understand the hell that we are, we will take it easy on other people when they with us. Oh man, how about LaShawn say, I do want someone. But he hold on. He said, but he gotta have a strong back though. I don't get that. I don't. First of all, wait. I'm Pia said, LaShawn, you play too much. Now she said something. She said he gotta have a strong back though. Now I'm supposing that she's meaning it in a certain way. Or does he have to have a backbone? When you talking about he has to have a strong back, what is it? What is it that people have this thing? I'm gonna make myself as difficult as possible just to see if you can put up with me. That is insane. Yes, it is. Because generally what happens is that dude that you be with, you don't have no idea what you're gonna have to put up with him. You you assume that it's gonna be, if he can put up with me, you be like, oh my God, I had no idea it was gonna be, because that's what marriage is, y'all. Right. LaShawn say, I think I want a gangster, some hardcore, rough, calloused hands and whatnot. No, you don't. No, you just think you do until he get gangster on you. Right. And then it's like, whoa. You ain't gonna be putting your hands on me. No, I'm a gangster because that's what I do. I put my hands on folks. You already said you all know about the submission thing. So he gonna help you. He gonna help you. He gonna beat you in the submission. Oh, you ain't gonna fix my plate? Oh, we gonna see what dude. I just say be careful what you ask for. Right.
I just say be careful what you ask for. My wife often jokes and says, I wanted a guy that I wasn't gonna be able to run over, and God sent her this Marine guy. No, I'm serious. Just be careful what you're asking for. Just be careful, because a lot of times what you need and what you're looking for is in front of you.
So she say, nah, he'll have a soft spot for me. LaShawn say, nah, he'll have a soft spot for me. But you gonna stomp on that soft spot until he can't take it no more.
We have talked to 5 different versions of LaShawn tonight.
He said,
With a real LaShawn stand up. With a real LaShawn, please stand up.
He said 5 different versions. 5. Latarsha says, I don't usually agree with John, but I have to with this comment. I knew I had crazy tendencies.
Crazy.
But it wasn't until I got married that I realized I am a special kind of person.
Yes.
I couldn't run around acting and talking crazy to my husband and saying, that's just who I am. I admit my craziness, John, but my change is happening.
We sure appreciate
it. Be patient with me.
Because listen, I think your craziness is a lot easier to deal with when you can admit it to somebody. We can say, sweetheart, you know what? I know, child, I know I'm special. I appreciate, and I'm trying to work on me, and I appreciate you being here with me while I'm trying to fix me. Thank you for being patient with me while we do this together. Because I believe most women, you know how I am. I believe most women crazy anyway.
I don't think you would be too far off from saying it. But LaShawn says again, how y'all gonna tell me what's wrong with me?
Because you crazy. I keep trying to say, can you admit that you crazy?
This what we do. This what we do.
Boy, you crazy.
Listen, I grew up in a house full of women. I'm married to a woman.
We know women.
We know women. So
you're crazy. You're crazy.
But I remember this poem, going back to what Tarsha was saying. I remember this poem. I can't remember who wrote it, but it's called To a Louse. But there's a part in that poem. It says, oh, what a power the giftie would give us to see ourselves as others see us. It says it would from many a blunder free us. If we could see ourselves like other people see us, it would keep us from doing a lot of foolish stuff. It would keep us from a lot of foolish stuff. We don't take the time to consider how we come across other people. And some of us don't care because we've been taught not to care. I remember seeing this shirt. It looks so, you know what I'm saying, so noble. Be you, they'll adjust. I get it. But at some point, you need to adjust yourself, because everybody putting up with you when you not the person that you should be, it's accountability. People not being accountable to other people. You know what I'm saying? You don't live on this planet by yourself. Other people here with you. And you got to understand, this is why boundaries are so important. You got to respect other people's boundaries. You got to respect what gets on another person's nerve, especially in marriage. Especially in marriage. You got to understand what gets on that person's nerves, what makes them happy, what makes them sad, and the whole nine. And you move in respect to that. And on the flip side of that, when you know what drives a person, when you know what makes them upset, what makes them happy, then you can use that to irritate them at the same time.
Well, and also, I think that, man, you, brother, see, that's what I love about you, man. You just pull up poems, and I'm sitting there like, I ain't got now poem. I'm trying to think of something. I can't think of now poem.
Rose of red. Violets of blue.
I can't think of now.
You keep acting a fool, and I can't stand you.
But I think this though, love is wanting to be better for that person that you're with.
Walking together,
dude. That's what love is. Love is, you know what? I know I can be a fool sometimes, but you know what? I wanna be better for you, because I want you to enjoy the best of me. Dude,
you just said something.
Dude, see, I don't pull poems. I just say something.
You tried that though. I like that.
I mean, that's real talk. I can't be no more real. And that's why love is so great. When you have some, they made a song. They made a couple of songs about it. And what the OJ say? Was the OJ's? No, Teddy P. Teddy P. Teddy P said it.
Hold on, what did Teddy say?
Teddy P said, what did he say? Loving.
Oh, feel so good
to love somebody.
Loving somebody.
And somebody love you back.
Somebody love you back. Let me get Rosin. Rosin says, I think women don't want a man that is a pushover because if it's time for him to stand up for me, what is he going to do?
Well, stop. Stand up for you how? You won't, I don't understand.
Right. Let's clarify.
We getting too old for any woman to come on here now. Most of our demographic is 30 plus. I would dare to say. We grown folk. And most of us, we should be kind of getting away of standing up for me. Well, I didn't want him because he ain't stand up for me. How does he treat you? Does he treat you like the queen that you deserve to be treated like? Because you on that bull. What does he treat you like?
Right.
How? Whether or not he gonna stand up for you? You think if he loving you like you need to be loved, you think he gonna let something happen to you?
Boy.
Y'all sound like y'all worried about the wrong thing. Maybe it's just me.
Yeah. Because now, if you want a head buster,
they out there.
They out there, but they come with warning labels.
They bust your head too.
Listen, it's in a man. Anything that's his, that belong to him, that somebody else threatening, you gonna see that man rise up. Now, he may not do it in a fashion to where, you know what I'm saying, he go completely off, but he gonna do something.
But y'all ain't seen how crazy men be over women.
Oh, brother. Yeah.
Just because somebody hadn't been that crazy over you, it might be something wrong with you. But generally, man, men are out here looking to love somebody.
Yeah.
But most of the time they get picked over because they're not this and they're not that enough, they're not this enough. But I remember a quote that D said, I may not know how to balance my checkbook, but I know how to treat a woman.
Come on now.
And y'all wouldn't even give guys a chance to see how they treat you, because you say you want them to be able to take you to Nick and Sam's. Damn, some Nick and Sam's. Is he gonna treat you like the queen that you need to be treated like? Y'all don't want that part. Y'all don't want that part. Because y'all looking for either roughneck or big bang dude that's gonna treat you like a dog, or somebody who ain't gonna do you right. Love out there.
We get a Fia. Fia says, when things get a little difficult in your marriages, how do y'all relieve stress? Because most women need to talk it out with their girls. True. Do men do the same thing? Absolutely.
Your marriage is only as good as the village that you surround yourself with.
Yes.
You have to. The only way it can stay healthy is you have to have healthy people around you that you can talk to when you're going through things.
Healthy people. Yeah.
Marriage is just like everything else. The only way it can grow is it has to be nurtured, and you have to be put in a situation with other people where you can talk about it. Do you think I surround myself with five group? How many was 5 couples, and we talk to each other about everything. You talk about everything. Anytime something happens, we talking about it.
Yeah. I mean, fellas, we go, but we pray together.
Yes, exactly.
We take our own trip together.
Yes,
just so we can we can decompress and just talk about being good men. How we gonna just continuously be good men for our wives? That's what we focus on. That's what we talk about. And we still trip out and do the whole 9, but by the time we get back home, it's about being better.
And that's not to say that we haven't had people that are in and out of our circle that haven't got divorced, because they have.
Right.
But if they got divorced, it was because that was the best thing for them. And we all knew it. We all was like, yeah. But again, I think it means more to have people in your corner than not.
Listen, and I tell people this all the time. Whenever you have a marriage that doesn't work, somebody dug their heels in the ground and refused to change.
Yes, I'm not doing it. Or decided what you are going to put up with.
Exactly.
Because let me just say this about, and I hate to bring this particular one up. But I anytime something happens in your marriage and you say that's the deal breaker for me, I'm not gonna put it there. Oh, he cheated or she cheated. That shouldn't. Everything needs to be evaluated and weighed out.
Yeah.
If you guys can talk to it and get past it, then y'all by every means do that. Because no marriage is a perfect, guys. People are gonna make mistakes. And we can't be so hung up on, but he didn't. Because you got to know this: nobody that loves you will intentionally do anything to hurt you. Right. A lot of times we find ourselves in things or in situations that we both see coming, and that we choose not to do anything about. And then when we get there, it's, oh my God, how we got here? You didn't see? We've been on this road for weeks, years, months.
Yeah.
And we got, and you can't be scared to be vulnerable with nobody. Talk to each other.
You're right.
And if you can't talk to me while you dating me, you damn sure not gonna be able to talk to me when we get married. Because what I tell you, I am still. Do you know me and Cheryl right now are dealing with lymph conversations right now? I threw her in that bed the other day and was finna go to town, and that thing would not move. And I was like, girl, would you look at this? She was like, yeah, I see it. I like, I'm gonna just put it on your leg, girl. And start a fire. I'm gonna rub it real hard and start a fire. And we had to talk about that. Dude, we got to talk about that. I am so serious. I am so serious.
That is serious. That is serious.
Since I had this heart attack, I'm on all these medicines and I didn't even know it. Done snuck up and done touched me. Touched me in a way that I didn't think I was gonna be touched. And now Cheryl looking at me saying,
Tarsus said, cut his mic. Tarsus said, cut his mic. I feel me, I'm crying.
Dude, I can listen, y'all. I can't be more. It's just that serious because you know why? Because when you start talking about somebody's manhood, that affects my brain. That affects my psyche and my mental. Because we evaluate that with being a man. And if I can't talk to you about some of the problems that I'm having, man, you're not no good. You're not no good to me. I need you to help me be whole.
Yeah. Yeah.
And listen to my man's get back. Because right now he ain't checking for me.
Monique said, oh no, it's that heart attack.
It's that, yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah.
They got me on all these medicines.
And see, yeah, we're gonna have to get Natasha says, in my best Derek Smith voice, I was reading a book this week. She said, seriously, I was reading a book about connections. The question was, how would your marriage excel or improve if you actually connected with your spouse? Connecting is the ability to identify and relate. That allows an increase. I think some people get scared to connect.
Well, because you have to submit and surrender yourself to somebody else. You got to be vulnerable to somebody in order to connect with them. And most people don't. Most people are too scared to do that. Yeah. Yeah. Nobody wants to be heard. Nobody wants to give up the advantage or the upper hand. Mm-hmm. And when in marriage, man, if we can go together,
brother, and that's sacrifice. Sacrifice is giving up the advantage or the upper hand, giving it up.
You know, I knew marriage was crazy when they say sometimes you right, you still wrong.
Oh,
is it better to keep peace or to be right? I'm saying that marriage don't make sense, and you can't expect it to.
Right, because you got the issue, and then you got how the other person feels about the issue, and how personally are they taking it? Because eventually, it's not about the issue anymore; it becomes about the person, and you got to be sensitive to that. And in dealing with the issue, you can damage the person if they not in the right headspace. Really, you know the crazy thing. Most of us still, when we think about marriage and being single, we think about it the way we did when we were in our early 20s. Oh man,
ooh. We don't. Our opinion of marriage, our thoughts of marriage, how we'll handle marriage don't grow as we grow. It doesn't get any different. It don't get more. It don't evolve.
Yeah.
When I think it's time for that part of our lives to evolve if we want what's best for us.
Yeah. LaShawn says, I'll be honest about this, though, fellas.
Oh, we're going to get one thing.
She said, I've evaluated and weighed out the infidelity, and I realized if he can be with another woman, he was never my man to begin with. So commitment is scary to me. That does not mean that he wasn't for you. Listen, there's a whole lot that goes in infidelity.
Yes, you're right.
There's a whole lot that goes into it that you got to look at.
Yeah.
Mr. Ken says some people connect sexually but not spiritually. Mismatch next. You're right. We think the connection is in the bed. Listen, you know what it's like when you have sex out of place. It's like, you ever been trying to super glue something?
The glue won't fit in there like a ball.
No, and you don't set it right before the glue dry.
Oh, and it grow and the glue crooked.
And it's crooked.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
When you trying to, sex is like that glue. If you don't set it right, you now you glue it and it's not set properly. And so it can't function, it can't work the right way. You got to make sure it's set before you apply that glue. And sex is that glue. And a lot of us, we just gluing everything, just all willy-nilly, just all random stuff. And then we wonder why our lives are not working, because we didn't have it set properly before we glued it.
But we also make sex something that's not supposed to be. Sex is not supposed to be the do all be all.
Oh man,
the relationship, us feeling each other and getting along is supposed to be the result. Sex is supposed to be the result of that. It's not supposed to be the end of the, oh my God, we had the sex. No. I'm vibing with her. I'm feeling you mentally, spiritually. I'm feeling you and you feeling me. And that is the result of having sex.
Mikhail says, the ideal of a man being the leader of the household is diminishing, especially with this current generation. Yeah, I will say this. There is definitely a leadership issue. I don't think it's as bad as people have made it, because I think people have made too much money off men being broken that nobody's interested in really fixing them, because it's easier to just talk about them and to bash them. You get more likes, you get more views when you go that route. But when you start actually talking about fixing, you got to really dig into how we got here. How do we get to this issue with so many broken men? Because there's a cause, and it can be fixed. It can be fixed. And let me say, I don't think it's as many broken men as people are actually putting out there. Not to the point to where they stand out like a sore thumb, because everybody got issues on both sides. Everybody got issues. But how we dealing with them? Afia says, now I understand more and more why men stay quiet during conflict. LOL. It's so much work, but I'm sure it's worth it with the right one. We stay quiet. And let's be honest, because women are the more delicate vessel. We have to, I don't think women really understand, I don't think wives really understand how much we buffer, how much we pull up, how much we, you know what I'm saying? Because we have to watch not only what we say, but how we say it.
Yeah, because if we don't give it to you perfect, you're not gonna receive it. Because you're looking for a reason not to receive it from us anyway. So we gotta have kid gloves on when we give it to you, whatever we give to you anyway. Yeah. Because you're looking for a reason not to receive what I'm saying to you. Like she said, because LaShawn said this, she said, I'm looking for a man, but he got to do it the right way. What did she say? He has to be, she have to approve of him, basically. And that's what all women are saying. Everybody's saying that. Well, if he don't do it the way I think he should be doing it, then
who made you the expert?
Oh my God! But they can tell us more how to be a man than a guy can.
Tasha said, "Come on, super glue and sex." LaShawn says, "Y'all have a good evening. This show is making me get in my feelings.
Well,
I have an ice cold beer waiting on me. Good night."
Yeah.
And let me just say, not trying to rub anybody the wrong way, but I've been told by Dr. Rod, when he told all of us, Dr. Rod Stodge said, the only thing that should humble you is truth. He said that should be the only thing that humbles you is truth. And most of us, we're not taught to be honest with ourselves. That's not something we're taught to do.
Mm-hmm.
We will lie to no end. And we lie and expect everybody to adjust to our lies. Yeah. And it does not work that way. It does not. Truth is the only thing that stands by itself. And we have a problem standing because we won't stand on it. Mikhail says, is the ideal of more women have a masculine trait nowadays visible to you guys? And we kind of got into this last week. I think when you have an issue with single parent homes, especially in the mother, most African Americans, they're a single parent home being raised by a woman. The voice doesn't have to be tempered. It doesn't have, she has the dominant voice in the house. So women that grow up in there grow up not seeing anything but a woman having a dominant voice in the house. So I think this is a condition of that whole thing, which, listen, that whole single parent, it invites a whole host of issues, We don't got time to get into it this week. We have to touch it another time. Yeah. But we've come down to the final thoughts. So final thoughts.
My final thought for today is, man, it's difficult as it is, as I believe for most of us to fall in love and find somebody. I believe there is somebody out there for you. I just think we have to be more careful and become more prayerful about what God wants for us and not what we want for ourselves, because I think he knows better than we do. And listen, if you tried it and have failed at it, give it. And and I hate to put God in it, but some of y'all, some of us need Jesus. And I just think, I think you can't go wrong if you put Christ in it. Put Christ in it, and Christ will do what you can't do. And Christ won't be led by his heart or his behind like you were. And I think you can trust him in that. But that's my final thought.
Listen, John had a great point. Now I'm gonna say you gotta put God in it. When you think about your relationship with God, you made a commitment without fully really knowing what you signed up for. You don't really just know what God has in store for you, and all you know is that you got to ride it out with him, and you trust that he always has your best interest at heart. He says he loves you. Now the challenge is, how do I transfer that kind of trust to a person who can make mistakes, who has some flaws here and there? You got to be able to trust their heart for you. And listen, there is somebody out there who will love you, not just talking about it, but will actually put in the time, the energy, and the effort to show you that they love you. And for all of us that's trying to love and trying to love better, we trying to take cues from God anyway on how to do this thing properly, because it has to be in such a fashion that people know that it's real, know it's love, and can receive it. So you want to learn about love? Get with the person who designed it. Get with God, find out what it is, and commit to doing it his way. And that's our King Speaks this week.
Wow, man, it's crazy, man. I just believe it's love out there for everybody. I do. If you want love, I believe it's out there for you. but you got to be willing to submit to it.
Yeah. Submission is scary, but it makes a difference.
And it's not going to be on your rules. The problem is we want to control. Man, people are so controlling. Oh my God, people! You know, if God say He gonna bless you, we want to know how He gonna do it, when it's coming, so we can figure out how to try to control it.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
In the absence of trust, you must control.
Okay.
So if you got to control everything, to me, you don't trust nobody.
All right, then, guys.
All right, we done.
Yeah.
Listen, make sure you like, share, subscribe to our Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube, subscribe to our podcast. We're on Apple, Google, Spotify, Spreaker, all the different platforms, podcast platforms. The audio version, make sure you go and you check out the audio version of our podcast. We upload a new episode every week. We got all the past episodes on there as well. Also, we on Roku, right? You can catch us, BS3 TV on Roku. We're part of the BS3 network of podcasts. Great network, a lot of great podcasts. You can go on Roku to the BS3 TV channel, find us and find a whole lot of other hosts of great podcasts that you can get some great information from, some great entertainment from as well. Also, if you don't have a Roku device or a Roku TV, you can check us out directly on your computer with the direct web link, bs3tvlive.com. bs3tvlive.com. You can check us out on your computer as well. But by all means, check us out and share us with your friends, your family. If you think we saying something that people can, it'll be valuable to somebody else, just share it out to the people, right? Everybody that shared it, we appreciate you. We appreciate all the love from week to week. We try new things. We trying to make this thing better for y'all, trying to present a better quality product for y'all. So be looking for great things from Man Talk Mondays. All right, good people. We out. We gonna catch y'all next week.
Y'all be blessed.
Peace out.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.